Hello, Miss Steele here. So this week we are talking about color. And for this project, we're focusing on the use of warm and cool colors. We're going to be making our own warm and cool hot air balloons. So for this project, you're going to want 2 pieces of white paper, because we're going to have one be our background, one be our hot air balloon. Sorry, I had to go look for it. A small piece of brown paper. You're going to want a pencil and an eraser, scissors, glue, and then either like a black marker or Sharpie or pen, but something that we're going to add some lines on with later. I'm as well going to be using paints. So if you have paints, you can definitely use them for this project. But if you don't, you can use markers or crowns to color this in. So I'm going to get all of this stuff out of the way, because the first thing we want to do is we want to decorate one of these using all cool colors, and then decorate the other one using all warm colors. So I'm going to be painting mine, but if you don't have paints, you can use markers or crowns or colored pencils. I'm going to decorate this one using warm colors. So whenever you're thinking about warm colors, you can think about a hot summer day is a really good way to think about warm colors. A fire. Think about the colors that you think about whenever something's really hot. So red, orange for sure is a warm color. Another warm color. And whenever I'm painting this in, I'm not painting it any specific way. And whenever you color in your paper, you don't have to color it in any specific way. You just want to have warm colors. So I'm just adding in blotches of them. So I have some yellow, pink, definitely a warm color. So like I was saying, think about those colors on like a hot summer day or a fire. Warm colors are colors that visually look warm. They use a lot of red and yellow in them, which are 2 warm primary colors. I'm going to use this peachy color because that's as well a warm color. And I'm adding it up here. Oop, you can't really see it. Let's see if I turn the darkness down. There we go. And then right up here, I'm going to add some orange. So I used orange and red and yellow and pink and peach. A lot of like melon colors are warm, so you could use those. So I have this done. I am going to set it aside so I can start on my cool colored one. So I'm going to go put this up, grab my next one, and then we're going to decorate it using just cool colors. Got my warm colors. Now we're going to use more of these colors, and we're going to start talking about cool colors. Cool colors visually look cooler. So whereas warm colors look really bright, cool colors look a little more relaxed. You can think of like a cold winter day. Green, a cool color. You can think about colors like if you're in the shade, you go in the shade to get cool. So cool colors are those kind of darker colors. Blue is a cool color. I have a darker blue right here that I'm going to add in. It is a cool color. So pretty much any green, blues, purple is a cool color. These are colors that have more blue mixed into them, which make them cooler because that's our cool color. That's one of our primary colors. Since we're talking about primary and secondary colors as well, I'm going to throw in a little more green down here. And like I said, I'm not trying to make it look like anything, because this is just going to be our background and we're going to turn this into something. So I'm just making for sure I add in those cool colors all around. You don't want to add any warm colors in, just those cool colors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go set these up to dry, and then we'll move on to our next thing. Our next thing we're going to do for this. Quick, just thought of the word, it's step. Our next step. Magic, I have 2 that have already been drying. So now for this next part is whenever we're going to be using our glue and scissors, pencil eraser, our little piece of brown paper, and then that skinny Sharpie. And this is optional, but I have some cotton balls I'm going to turn into the clouds. So if you have any extra cotton balls, you can use that as well. If you don't, that's okay too. So what I want to decide now is I want to decide which one of these is going to be my background and which one is going to become my hot air balloon. For this one, I did my hot air balloon using cool, and I did my background warm. So I think I'm going to use this cool one as my background. So I'm going to set it aside, and now I'm going to turn this into my hot air balloon. I'm going to flip it over just so it's easier to see my lines. And what I'm going to do to start out my hot air balloon is I'm going to draw a really big U that comes in a little bit. And then for the bottom of my hot air balloon, I'm going to add a bumpy line, just to add another detail. So I have my hot air balloon drawn to cut out, and then using my brown piece of paper, I'm going to turn this into my basket. I'm going to draw this in marker just so it's easier for you to see. But for my basket, I want to start out with almost like a square. But instead, the lines go off on the side. So instead of going straight up, they go out. And then again, on the top of this, I'm going to add a bumpy line. So I'm going to get these two cut out, and then we'll start putting everything together. All right, so now I have what I cut out, and I have my background. I am going to glue this on here. And then right below it is where I'm going to glue my basket. So I'm going to take my glue, and remembering a dot is a lot, adding a thin line of glue. We don't want to have this be too gluey because then it's kind of sticky and icky and takes longer to dry. So I have my hot air balloon glued down. Now I'm going to glue down my basket. Just like that. And I want to add some line detail to this. That's why we have these. So for my basket, I'm going to almost make it look like it's an ice cream cone. I'm going to bring down a bunch of straight lines like that. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Well, I guess going the other way, not on the other side. I want to add some strings, so I'm going to add some straight lines. So it looks like our hot air balloon is attached to our basket, like that. And now I'm going to add the details for our hot air balloon. So it's going to be pretty similar to this, just a little bit different. So starting at the top, I'm going to bring a line coming all the way down on one side. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I made mine a little curved just because hot air balloons are round. So now that we have these lines, we're going to add lines going the other way. And instead of making them straight like this, we're going to make them curved. It's almost going to look like a spider web. If you've ever drawn a spider web, it's pretty similar to this. So I'm adding in some lines, and I'm making them curved lines. Maybe I can fit in one more here at the bottom. And there we go. There is our beautiful hot and cool hot air balloon. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take some cotton balls and I'm going to pull them apart so they normally look like this. But what you can do is you can pull them apart if you want to add an extra detail to this, and then you can glue them to your paper. And if they're ever hanging off, you can cut it off where it's hanging off like that. So there's one cloud. I think I might add another one right here. And then maybe another small one kind of here at the bottom. So if you have some cotton balls, you can pull them apart and kind of flatten them out and glue them down so you can have some clouds on your artwork too. I can't wait to see how these come out. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your morning, your evening, your afternoon, whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you all next time.